Hi, and welcome to Geno's Picks. How about the past 2-week run? We went 6-1-1, and it has put us at 25-19. 57%, and yes, we've lost 4 games to pushes, but the 10 Thursday night picks where we've gone 8-2 have given you more than enough money, so you're loving all that the SPR form has opened up for you. So let's get to the picks of the week. But first, you know what really grinds my gears? The instant replay. It is like a cancer as more and more people complain how bad the officiating has gotten. But for the last time, and I know this will never happen, if you wanted the officiating to get better, what you need to do is get rid of the replay. I know it will never happen, but let's face it, all the replay is used for is to correct referees and point out what they missed. No one has ever taken a super slow-mo and broken down an instant replay of a great call by a ref, because handling a football game is like handling your ex. The best calls are the ones you never make, okay? And it's usually just after you make the call that you look at the screen and the people on it and say, more, man, that call screwed me than this one ever did. Now, not only does the NFL replay point out where every call is missed, it terrifies referees into making calls that they're watching in real time, that 500,000 people are watching at 18 different angles in super slow-mo. Trust me, if you were watching that sex tape you made with your ex in super slow-mo, you'd never make another call again, and you'd be terrified too. The replay isn't going anywhere, America. Get used to it, shut up, or find another sport. I think Ultimate Frisbee started. Exactly. Let's get to the picks. My first pick, the Seahawks and Vikings are a pick 'em in Minnesota. Really? Here's a stat about the Seahawks that may blow your mind. Seattle has had a lead at some point in every one of their last 61 games. And by the way, they've had the lead at the end of 75% of those games. Why? Because Russell Wilson is a winner. And as we continue to see QBs like Johnny Manziel and Geno Smith, and even to some extent at this point Peyton Manning, guys that don't roll out of bed thinking how they can help the team like Russell Wilson does and helps the team rather than the team suffers. But when you have a guy like Wilson, whose players have more trouble facing him after a 2-point loss than they do their wives after a 3-way gangbang, the team tends to find ways to win. And never was that more apparent than last week when the Seattle team, that here's another stat, was 0-13 under Russell Wilson when opponents scored 24, suddenly go out and look like the Seattle Supersonics in a 39-30 win over the Steelers coming off a bye. Well, good news, Seattle. Jimmy Graham is out. Yes, that's good news, because in his place you get Luke Wilson, who has a perfect name, because just like his namesake, he's used to the other guy doing less and getting all the credit. Wilson actually blocks, which will allow Wilson to do what he's been doing all 3 years, especially this past Sunday, find Doug Baldwin and Javon Curse and win football games, okay? Because let me tell you, Wilson blocks at the line because he gets down there with all the other dumb white linemen. Jimmy Graham never did that because, like every Graham, he thinks he's above all those other crackers. That was cute, but this is the best Seattle team that they put on the field all season, and Minnesota just isn't getting better fast enough. Take the Seahawks and just pick them. My next pick, the Cards are laying 5.5 on the road to the Rams. Wow, the Rams are absolutely terrible, and we told you what you would see last week. Nick Foles, who had the job given back to him rather than earned it, people. The QB job is like human love. It's got to be earned or you don't know what to do with it. And then you throw it away to bang a guy that looks just like me and is 10 years younger than me, but he has a job and goals, and look at what he's going to be in 10 years. You'll never find a man like me. I was drunk at breakfast. Take the Cards, lay the points. You didn't stop. The Tampa Bay, my next pick. The Tampa Bay Bucks are laying 2. Like she's laying that are laying 2 to the Falcons in Tampa Bay. Let me say what we seem to have forgotten from the opening week of the season. The Atlanta Falcons stink. They may make you forget what their 5-0 start, but maybe you haven't clued into the fact, why are you still laughing at my ex, Joe? I hate him. Clued into the fact that those 5 wins were against the entire NFC East and Ryan Mallett, who is out of football now because he has as much business being in it as the entire NFC East does. Still, if you take away those wins, what are the Falcons? 1-5 and probably the worst team in the NFL over the past 2 months. And one of those losses was to the Buccaneers in the friendly confines of Atlanta. Well, now they're heading to Tampa Bay, who I don't know if you know this, but the Falcons stink outside in December, even in the South. And not to mention, they're about to face a 12th-ranked Bucs defense that will get to play Matt Ryan, who has turned the ball over, ready for this, a leading 4 times in the red zone. Why? Because Matt Ryan isn't just terrible, period. He's as terrible as a period. Take the Bucs, lay the 2. Which brings me to my Double Your Money Monday Night Betters. I like to call it, I've known the guy 8 years and he's never seemed happier than watching me bitch about my ex. I don't know what that means. All right, the Washington Redskins are giving 4.5 to the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. The only thing you can depend on in the NFC East is the team that has the lead and has a chance to make a statement, making a statement that says we are terrible. And that's the Redskins this week. Don't kid yourself. They're really bad. And you're telling me a team as bad as Washington is giving me points? Yeah, I'll take that. And I'll also add it's a shame that a team like the Redskins have to play this game on December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, because they may actually lose on the only day in U.S. history Native Americans feel like winners. Finish strong. Take Dallas in the points. Those are Geno's picks. She'll call.